Hello everybody, how's it going? Hey, you know what? It's actually not 5 p.m. today. I apologize for being a little bit late today, but I was actually taking part in this new mastermind coaching, which I think is fantastic because I think it's going to bring just so much value, so much more value to you, my clients. And actually, I am probably going to be changing the time of Discuss with Drake for the next month or two. We're probably actually going to go to a lunchtime broadcast, but probably still on Tuesdays. So look for me then to see if we can capture a few more viewers. So anyways, we are live, of course, and this, of course, it's still Discuss It with Drake, which would be me, and that's for some people that like to make fun of me doing that, but anyways, as always, you can always find this broadcast at a later time and ones from the past on YouTube. And if you could just go to YouTube and go to Drake's Real Estate TV, that's one word, Drake's Real Estate TV, hit subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it. So can you believe that we're already on episode number 10? Yeah, isn't that crazy? Today we're actually going to talk about 5 crazy expensive home repairs. That doesn't sound exciting, right? But the good part is, most importantly, we're going to try to talk about how to actually avoid them. So, and we're actually going to count backwards. So we're actually going to end with the most expensive fix. And we're going to start with number 5, which is actually, sounds easy, right? Replacing the lawn. Lawn work can be laborious and very, very, very time consuming. But if you think about it, replacing it into something much more manageable can actually be very, very pricey. We've got all different soil types across the country, leading to very different types of conditions and drainability. Is drainability a word? Well, anyways, just different different plants obviously don't grow in different parts of the country. So the most cost-effective thing that you actually could do would be to have your soil tested. And they can see what kind of chemistry you have. And then if you actually just make a trip down to your local nursery, they will actually give you some information on what would work best in that area, right? Or just look at your neighbor's house and see what's growing over there, because chances are you probably have the same soil. So number 4 would be removing a tree. And boy, let me tell you, I have a lot of experience with this one here. Uprooting a tree, a large tree, can actually cost you $1,000 and actually can get very, very expensive. And of course, there's numerous factors involved. If it's a massive tree with aggressive roots and there are power lines to deal with, has it already invaded your plumbing or foundation, or perhaps even starting to get close to your perimeter walls, it can get very, very expensive. And of course, do you know what the number 1 most aggressive tree you don't want anywhere around your house? It's the ficus. So I remember when I bought my house, my second house, I had 2 ficus trees right there at the porch. Their trunks were probably about that big, so they were still semi-young. Hadn't done any damage yet, but let me tell you, that first week that I lived there, I hired someone, and now they came because very, very, very aggressive root system, and they can destroy a lot of things. So don't forget about the stump removal as well. So, but tree removal can add up to thousands of dollars if left unchecked. So it's better to be proactive. The key here is to actually just get ahead of the problematic tree situation. So if you're planning on planting a tree, I would definitely consult with an arborist to make sure that you've got the right tree in the right location. Okay, it'll save you a lot of money. Number 3, repairing water damaged walls and ceilings. Okay, so water flowing through your plumbing and in your pool is a good thing. Water running anywhere else, not so much. Okay, so replacing water damaged ceilings and walls average probably at least $1,500 a wall if you're lucky. But of course, this can get significantly higher when you're replacing all the rest of the stuff, like perhaps crown moldings. If it got to the floor, you've got the carpet, you've got the padding. Do you have wood floors? I mean, everything let's just say water, not in the pipes, bad, right? Okay. Not to mention the time that it's going to take to properly dry it all out. with those very, very, very large and loud industrial fans, say, okay? And then you got to keep in mind the current weather conditions, okay? If it's in summer, it's going to be a lot easier to dry out. But what happens if you're in the fall or the winter when it's damp and you're trying to dry it out? It's going to take a lot longer, and it's going to just be very, very, very inconvenient, okay? So a few safety tips that I know a lot of people do is just to make sure that you try and replace your plumbing lines, like for your toilet and for your washer and dryer, with those nice coiled ones. And you know what? It's a good practice to turn off your washer and dryer when you're not using them. Okay, it's great. Same thing with the toilets. If you're going to be gone for an extended period of time, I would turn those off. I know I've heard so many nightmare stories about the hoses breaking on toilets, and they were only gone for 2 hours and their whole house flooded. So it's also a good idea to make sure that you know what the water pressure in your home is, because if your water pressure is actually too high, it's actually going to be looking for the weak point in the line, and the weak point in the line is usually the toilet. Or in fact, one case I had the dishwasher, in the sink, the faucet. You know how they have those ones where the end nozzle you can pull down to spray the sink? That's a very, very, very weak nozzle, and we couldn't figure out why it was bulging, and then it wound up bursting. Figured out that the water pressure was actually too high for the home, and that was the weak spot. So that's a good idea to just have that checked out. Okay. Number 2, replacing your HVAC system. Okay, so your cooling and heating system actually works very, very hard to keep you comfortable in your home. But when it goes out, it can definitely cost a pretty penny to replace it. So imagine if your AC went out in the dead of summer. Well, not only are the HVAC guys super, super busy beyond belief, but costs go up. I mean, it's basic economics of supply and demand. So not to mention that finding someone available might be very, very difficult, because all the good ones are obviously all working on something else. They get very, very busy. Trust me, I know. So this was why being proactive and actually doing the easy maintenance on all those systems is so, so, so very important. Okay, they'll actually extend the life of those systems. It's important, I'm telling you. It'll extend the life of your systems. Neglect, you're hearing me? Neglect is the main killer of these systems. Okay. Have you ever, basically, have your furnace serviced at the start of winter and have your central AC serviced late in the spring to avoid the high demand time. Okay. The number one and most costly home repair is actually your foundation. Okay, so hopefully you realize that the foundation is actually your most important part of your home. I mean, if you think about it, we use the word foundation in many, many aspects, explaining other things. You know, without a strong foundation, house goes boom. Okay, so if you think about it, it's supporting the entire weight of your entire structure. The entire structure is what I'm trying to say. So that's why it's actually worth paying for repairs as soon as they appear. Okay, a damaged foundation can be a dangerous place to reside, to boot. So you don't want to live in a dangerous house. And since every foundation problem is unique, there's really not a fixed price. But I am aware of some of the repairs varying in price from as little as $15,000 to actually above $125,000. So if you notice something, have it checked out, have it taken care of. Okay, being proactive saves you money. All right, that's it. 5 expensive things. It's part of home ownership, but like I said, if you are doing those maintenance tips ahead of time, being proactive is going to save you money, I promise you. So I hope you found that information helpful. Please feel free to share, and as always, if you'd like a copy of this information, I can email it to you or send it in the mail via snail mail. Just let me know. And if there's any topic that you would like me to discuss in the future, let me know. I will get it on the calendar and we'll discuss it. All right, I think we're going to have a guest next week, so I'm excited about that. So once again, thank you so much for your interest and support. And remember, don't keep me a secret. Please share this with everyone you know. The Drake Group always tries to come from contribution. So don't forget to live, laugh, and love. until next week when the next move matters, contact the Drake Group. Okay? See you later!